to any question in his 15-year Steeler career. The silliness that was him being attached to USC or LSU, that really started here with Doug Whaley saying people should be concerned. I mean, when you say that, you're basically giving it credence, Ron. You're saying this is a possibility. This could happen. Now, Whaley said he didn't have any firsthand knowledge, but he certainly gave it credence and set the ball in motion. And then I think.
And Joe, let me interrupt just real quickly on that. He's a former GM in the league. It's not like he's just some fan calling in off the street, right? I mean, he has some street cred because he's a former general manager.
Yeah. And I think Ryan Clark, I've probably unfairly lumped into this. Ryan Clark, here was his exact words. He said, I'm not saying Mike Tomlin wants it. I'm not saying LSU wants to give it to him. He was simply saying, if there were ever a situation where Mike Tomlin wanted to come here, I would give up my job as a broadcaster if it came to that to get him in here. So he never really lent it credence. He was commenting the same way we are.
He's speaking as an LSU graduate. You know, that I would love to have this guy and pay him whatever he wants. He didn't say that Tomlin necessarily would be interested.
And then the Carson Palmer stuff on Dan Patrick, I mean, if you have at all a functioning brain, you look at that, he was saying things like, if Mike Tomlin wants out. Dan Patrick said, has Tomlin been discussed? And Carson Palmer, who's on the search committee, his best answer was, I'm sure he has. I think anybody is a potential candidate. So it came to this. And again, credit to Tim Benz for asking the question, but here's the question and here's Tomlin's glorious answer.
Mike, at any point in your coaching career, did you ever have an interest or express an interest in being a head coach in the college game? And do you have any idea how that may or may not have led to folks like Ryan and Doug Whaley and Carson Palmer connecting you to some college jobs?
Hey, guys, I don't have time for that speculation. I mean, that's a joke to me. I got one of the best jobs in all of professional sport. Why would I have any interest in coaching college football? That'll be the last time that I address it. And not only today, but moving forward. Never say never, but never. Okay? Anybody else got any questions about any college jobs? There's not a booster with a big enough blank check.
Anyone else? All right.
Thank you. Anybody asking Sean Payton about that? You know, anybody asking Andy Reid about stuff like that?
Well, he didn't walk off then. I thought he walked off. I didn't hear Bert say anybody else okay. But then he gives that last line. Anybody asking Andy Reid and Sean Payton about this? Great answer. Can't be more definitive.
That's the part. I love the answer, I think, up till then, because that's the part that I'm still curious about. Why is he so insulted by this?
I think because he has a contract and he's very happy here and, doesn't need any kind of distraction. I don't think his players care much about this. I don't think they're putting a lot of stock in it, but you know how coaches are with distractions.
I mean, he could have just said no. He went all the way to Sean Payton and Andy Reid. Why aren't you asking them about this?
Those probably are the two names he just thought of at the moment. He could have said
he was
anybody.
Obviously highly agitated at this.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
Why do you think
that is? And he had to know. He had to be prepared that the question. It's not like it was hit him out of the blue. He's no idiot. He's heard all this.
Of course.
So he just wanted to get his message across. I thought it was wonderful.
So did I, but I am curious about the last part. I didn't think he was going to be that agitated or insulted by this, and he clearly was very insulted. Would you agree with that?
I would.
And that's what I'm wondering why.
I just don't think those coaches like distractions of any kind.
Yeah, to me it was more than that. It was something else is at play here, where he's saying, why aren't you asking Andy Reid? Why aren't you asking Sean Payton? Well, because a former league general manager didn't say that their fan bases should be worried about those guys leaving.
Right.
So that seems pretty clear. That's good stuff.
He put it to rest, though, didn't he?
Yes, he did. 412-928-9370. 928-9370.
The other one I liked was never say never, but never.
Right. I think he's insulted too with simply being associated with a college job. That's what it sounded like. That's the minor leagues if you're in the NFL, correct?
And the paycheck, it's not as if he's not extraordinarily well compensated where he is.
I mean, that's a joke to me.
You can get more money in college, but that's the minor leagues.
It's not coaching in the pros.
We can look at Nick Saban as the greatest college coach ever, maybe. He failed in the pros.
Yes,
right?
he did.
He failed at the highest level.
Big time failure.
So I think as I talk out loud, I think that part Tomlin is insulted by. Here I am, the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you're talking about me going back to the minor leagues or going to the minor leagues? What are we talking about here?
Right.
How many, and again, I'll ask this question. How many NFL coaches of their own volition went to college? The only way you go, and I could be missing somebody, tell me if I am, the only way you go there is if you're kicked out of the NFL, like Nick Saban. Or, Bobby Petrino went back and forth. Pete Carroll's gone back and forth. These guys have egos. They want to succeed in the major leagues, not AAA.
I couldn't agree more. And as he pointed out, he has one of the best jobs in all of sports, and he does. They've had 3 coaches since 1969. No other organization offers its coaches that kind of support, stability, and belief like the Steelers do. No other organization. None.
He coaches the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's going to go coach USC. He's going to move out west and coach a flagging program that the last time they succeeded, they were torn up for cheating.
And kiss the butts.
What would be the benefit other than pure cash?
Of 18-year-olds and smoozing with alumni.
Yeah.
Sorry. Makes no sense to me.
Never did.
And makes no sense to him, too.
Although, it's a good radio topic and an internet piece for people to get things cooking. And it did get started by a guy who was a GM in the league.
Not some jabroni, a guy who has some street cred in football, a former general manager.